Oh, comma, I forgot. We have an opening. That's not- It's on!
It's on!
It's on! Yeah, I think that movie was The Kid. Is that the one you were thinking of, Rebecca? The Kid?
Yeah.
Disney's yeah, because there's a billboard of it. So yeah, okay. Thank you.
Okay, very cool. You're welcome.
Hey everybody, welcome to the September 8th edition of
September? We're in September.
It's the August September 8th?
The September 8th edition of Disney Parks Live. We're coming to you one day later because yesterday was a holiday and we like our days off too. So we are here to talk about the week in Disney news, which we do every week at this time, except usually on Monday.
September.
That was weird.
That was weird.
That was really weird. He was just that smooth when he stole my heart. That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, I'm really bad at this. Before we start, we just like to remind you, please subscribe, please like our stream, please ring the bell so you know when we go live. But let's jump right into it. Lots of news to get to. We're going to start off in Walt Disney World. That means we're going to go to our junior Walt Disney World correspondent, Jeremiah Germ, and he is going to tell us what's new with Walt Disney World and the holidays.
Yay, holidays! Well, let's start off with the most recent of holidays, Halloween. As of today, I know, sorry.
Curveball.
Go ahead.
Again, if I had more than 2 minutes to prep, So starting today, all the parks and I believe some of the resorts and Disney Springs have launched some of their Halloween food offerings. I wanted to start out with this just so I could show the coolest thing that's come out of the parks in a really long time. You know, the Madame Leota Backpack.
It is really cool.
Let me turn down my brightness so it doesn't. There we go.
There you go.
So it's a sipper. It holds like 3 ounces of soda. Don't worry, when you buy it, you get a full cup of soda. And it is kind of like having chilled Leota brains when you. Ooh, chilled Leota brains. But the coolest part about
does the liquid mix in with their hair there?
It has a seal.
Okay.
The liquid does fit inside her head, so you are drinking.
Change the color. So if you put it in there, she becomes a brown head.
No, but if you do want color changing, there is a color changing ability. Hang on, I gotta snap her head back on.
Did you say brown head?
It's like brunette.
Okay.
Like if you put in soda, if you put in like Coca-Cola, would she have like a brunette hair?
What do you call someone with a redhead? What do you call someone with brown hair?
But you say brunette. You say redhead. You say blonde. No, redhead, brunette, blonde. This is how society has existed for generations.
Okay, back to the Leota Backpack. So,
right.
Sipper.
Backpack.
There's a story there.
Do you know that story, Mike C?
Yeah, I did. I saw the tweet. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to be sure you knew about Jeremiah's tweet and the well-placed zipper that made it look like one of those backpacks, like all the people use who carry around their R2 droids.
Now, if you follow us on Twitter, you would have gotten this a few hours ago, but it's better just wait so we can show it to you live.
It's cool.
So yeah, a lot of the food offerings debuted today. Well, actually, a lot of the food offerings debuted last week, but today was the official start of a bunch of them. At Disney's Hollywood Studios, they have the cauldron popcorn bucket with the orange face. No, it's not a Jeremiah story.
That was an accident. That was an accident.
Okay. One of the other cool things about Halloween, it really doesn't have much to do with Halloween. It's just kind of ties in, was the Cocoa Wishables came out last weekend or this past weekend. And these are some of them. This is the Dante Chaser, where he is I'm not going to say any words in Spanish because I don't want to be that bad. But those are really great. Enjoy those.
I saw people feeling the packages at World of Disney. I guess I didn't realize what was happening at World of Disney at Downtown Disney. But yes, I guess you can tell what's inside, like the Lego minifigure blind bags.
Oh, it's like we're
Doobie?
What are you doing? Yeah.
What year is it, honey?
Oh my goodness, that comes from.
So let's see, September 2016.
I got the date right. I wasn't even.
Wow. Hey, at least there he knew it was September. He just didn't know what year.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Jeremiah. Go
Nothing
ahead.
but professionals here.
Good dress rehearsal, everybody.
Yes. Okay, have we started yet? Can we?
Just like light magic.
So, yes, Mike. The Wishables all have distinct feelings, and there's nothing distinct feelings. Yes, I know. If you feel the bag, especially in this time of the pandemic, where it's good to touch everything, you can actually feel you can feel the hat or the wings or the guitar in these. So you can kind of identify which ones you're getting. Like the Jungle Cruise ones that came out a few weeks ago, you could feel the smokestack on the boat, so you could tell that you have a boat.
Okay, so this is a blind bag that you can tactily discern more easily than some.
Not that easy, because as I found out just when I bought these, there were some that I could definitely identify, what's his name? Coco.
Yeah, I'm not
Miguel.
good with all the nomenclature in Coco yet either.
I could feel Miguel's guitar.
Very cool.
Starting the 15th of this month of September of 2020, you will be able to enjoy some of the Halloween decorations that are being put up at Magic Kingdom, and we'll be there bringing those live to you.
And and there's a cool thing they're doing this year. Guests can wear costumes, right?
Correct. Throughout the day, guests can wear costumes.
Have you chosen yours?
Yes, I'm going to be dressed as a tourist.
No.
And then I'm going to be dressed as a Laughing Place roving reporter.
No. You're going to have to pick yours, Doobie.
Oh, that's right. It's going to be going on when I'm there. Oh.
We can all dress up as a group.
I know what I'm
doing. Maybe
but
the Brady Bunch.
I think one of my favorite group pictures ever was group costumes at the Halloween party was the family of Fast Passes. Do you remember them, Gideon? Yeah. I mean, I just called you Gideon. That's really funny. Do you remember that, Doobie?
I do remember that, yes.
Very cool.
Yes, we are going to Disney World next month and cannot wait.
I'm very excited to see my family.
Here, since you've switched things up on us, Jeremiah, let's go ahead and talk about this, because this is one of the most exciting things I've seen today.
Yes, the Headless Horseman rides again, which is very... Hi, Mike.
What's going on?
It's very cool. This Headless Horseman had previously been for sale at the Disneyland Resort, and I'd picked up a few for my friends on the East Coast and brought them to them. But now it's finally made its way from one coast to the other. It took him he has a very slow horse.
Well, you can't
Yeah,
see.
him and the Halloween pumpkin from Cars Land that I know we had the pumpkin last year here, but the Headless Horseman zipper pull just made it this year. But you can only get him if you do buy the Red's Revenge. Now it's Headless Horseman Rides Again Dole float, which is at not the Dole area. It's at the other one.
Okay.
Well put.
Sleepy Hollow?
No, Sleepy Hollow is where you get this guy,
Madam Leota,
or this head.
I would say we're all affected by the smoke fumes today, but Jeremiah's on another coast, so
it's wafting this way.
All you have to do is go to Laughing Place, and you will see it is at the Sunshine Tree Terrace.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there. I can see it, and it comes with a tasty beverage of a Fanta with a strawberry Dole Whip.
Yeah, strawberry Fanta and strawberry Dole Whip. So
is that
beverage?
That's kind of creepy because it's kind of red. It's kind of spooky. A red drink. Ooh,
it is the Red's Revenge one that we had for Pirates without the chocolate triangle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, and moving away from Halloween, since as of next month or the 15th of this month, Halloween will be going nonstop till October 31st, and then on November 6th, we kick into Christmas time at Disneyland.
Yay!
At Walt Disney World. As you see, it does say without very merry Christmas party or the candlelight events. Candlelight events?
Well, because there's a processional and dinner packages and all kinds of, related accoutrement. Without
all the candlelight fun. And that's the heartbreaking part. But I think one of the biggest pieces of news that came out of that was the Voices of Liberty, which will be the first equity to return to the parks, along with Joyful, will be taking the stage at the American Gardens Theater.
Wait,
which I'm very
excited about. Can you scroll down, Jimmy? To that part.
So to the American Gardens Theater?
To the part that talks about Joyful and
there you go.
The Voices of Liberty. Okay. Because I was going to say, Joyful is going to be at World Showplace. Voices of Liberty will be at American Gardens.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, they'll be on the stage at World Showplace, which is a great place for them. World Showplace, air conditioned, very nice, and the American Gardens Theater. That's right outside the home of the Voice of Liberty, and they'll be doing their Christmas stuff. It sounds like they may even be doing the Dickens Carolers, but it doesn't say that they'll be dressed up as it.
Oh, okay.
Even though they're allowed to be.
Yes. Jock Lindsay will get its holiday overlay that last year was put up that kind of flew under everybody's radar, and everybody that I know that went there kind of was like that event was so
okay. But it's some holiday theming. It's always nice to have a little bit of holiday theming.
And the resorts are going to be decorated. There aren't any of the gingerbread houses being put up. We don't know if we will get gingerbread slats for sale anywhere, but we can always hope.
I would imagine. I personally, I find it hard to imagine they will not sell shingles, even if they don't have gingerbread houses. Might as well go ahead and make shingles. It's just you can sell shingles. Well, no, because they individually wrap them and they can just offer them at a regular gift shop or whatever, rather than at the gingerbread store. It's that time of year. People will still want gingerbread.
And there is some different food offerings coming. I know that they said that Santa will have pop-up at Disney Springs, but it didn't sound like they're doing the Christmas tree trail this year, which is sad, but at the same time, that can get very congested in there. So I'm not sad for social distancing efforts.
Right, and they said the Philharmonic will play on Main Street. It'll have holiday tunes, and it sounds like the castle will have a holiday themed lighting, which I was very happy to hear about, because they've kind of been shying away from anything really that can kind of draw you to a central location. So the fact that they would even kind of dabble in the holiday lighting makes me happy.
I'm guessing it'll be much more of a continuous. It won't be the show,
right?
Because the show is really, if they put a showtime on, everybody will stop, and the hub will be packed. If it's a continuous and it's just something pretty to walk by, it'll be great.
Yep.
Mike, any news from the other coast yet on what they're going to be doing at Disneyland Park for Halloween or Christmas?
The parks are still locked. They still have the gates locked. I tried to get in.
And I think Governor Newsom's update today was like 2 words, right? It was pretty much getting closer.
Yes, getting closer.
Okay.
The nice thing that he did say is that they're keeping real time for the parks. It's not a, hey, each week we're going to evaluate. So, and it could be today they're like, no, and then tomorrow they decide, okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Oh, I see what you're saying, that they're being a bit more, like you said, real time. I gotcha.
Yeah, as opposed to and that was kind of how it came across to me as somebody on this side who's just reading random updates is, oh, every Tuesday they're going to evaluate and see where it goes to. But if he says real time, that could be, as the week progresses, they start contacting.
Right. I understand what you mean.
And again, as opposed to what I said last week, Disneyland is not opening. There is no set opening date. I'm sure as soon as they decide, every single cast member that is furloughed then gets the first call. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything will blow up.
Yeah, we'll know right away.
MySpace is going crazy. Jeremiah, so you went to Hollywood Studios this morning and you got some real serious breaking news.
Oh, yes. The billboard's gone.
Oh.
Who knows? So I was walking into Disney's Hollywood Studios heading towards Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and I just kind of look off to the side and I see that the Little Mermaid billboard is gone.
William J. Mason thinks it's going to be another Star Wars ride.
Yeah.
Mike C's eyes get real big.
There's been lots of rumors since the Disney's Hollywood Studios reopened, because there weren't social distancing markers in the queue for it, but it also is a small theater that they knew wasn't going to be used. So we can't automatically read, oh, it's never coming back in. The billboard, I don't want to say it's a definite sign, because that billboard and the Star Wars billboards on the other side were all removed to be replaced. When I did get up a little closer to the sign, you can see that it almost looks like they went up there and cut out the sign. There's not a removal. It is, you can see the border of the sign still there, and some of the supports are broken on it.
Are we sure an annual pass holder didn't just steal it overnight?
Let's check eBay.
Somewhere he's with Bugsy. Thank you.
Don't worry.
You say Busty?
He has no idea. He's just making things up.
But have we seen the Lopez brothers lately? They're pretty tall.
We can take it 2 different ways. It's never coming back because there's not a billboard and there's not social distancing markers, or hey, they're doing work, and because their equity still hasn't come back, a low capacity show that wasn't the #1 rated show in all of Walt Disney World isn't the first ones to come back. So at this point, and just like we've experienced in the past, until Disney announces it, it's rumor.
I have a question for Mike. Where does Ariel rank among your princess favorites?
The Little Mermaid came out when I think I was 9 years old, so that was pretty formative for me as far as Disney animation goes. So
got a crush on Ariel.
She's got to be top 5 at least.
All right. Good answer. Let's see what else is going on.
It's just so funny because I mean, for me, it was like I was heading off to college.
Yeah, we're old.
Like, I wasn't really.
I saw The Little Mermaid in theaters on a date.
Did you really? That's funny.
It was my only date with her. She was not someone I liked, but I did.
Do you remember the time that we went to see it when it came back? Okay, I'm going to say this and then it'll turn out I saw it with my sister or something, but it was us, right? We went to see it in theaters when it did the re-release, and I got all flustered because there was an actor in line with us, just a few people behind us waiting for the movie.
Who was it?
He played the holographic doctor on
some
Star Trek
thing.
Robert Picardo?
Yes. Yeah, and so I was all flustered because he was standing a few people behind me, and I was doing the whole internal debate of, oh, he's out with his family. Should I say hi? Oh, this is so cool.
See, I would have wanted to talk to him about Gremlins 2, the new batch.
He would have appreciated that. I'm sure no one ever comes up to him to talk about that. He would say paycheck.
Watch, my story's totally wrong. My dates are all messed up, and I'm totally mixing like 3 different stories. But no, I'm pretty sure that's who my celebrity sighting was.
Last year, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine, Mike.
Last year we saw The Little Mermaid at the Hollywood Bowl with the orchestra and they had a bunch of different celebrities come out and sing the songs and stuff. That was really cool. And Harvey Fierstein was Ursula. That was great.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Wow.
We did a sing. Doobie and I did a sing along once at El Capitan. It wasn't quite as like a big stage production as yours. It was really just the movie with the words along the bottom. But Jody was there, and Buddy Hackett, Buddy Hackett was there, and Stevie's pretending to be a bird.
He did that when
I
he was
was really wondering what he was doing.
Yeah, no, that's what Buddy did when they were saying thank you for joining us tonight. He stood up and pretended to be a seagull in person. It was delightful.
I think the most famous person I ever saw a movie with that I know of was once at the Chinese theater. I saw Richard Dean Anderson in line for popcorn with me, MacGyver.
Cool.
Go ahead, Jeremiah.
I have a Little Mermaid story from the El Capitan, and it was a re-release, and it was one of the times where Ariel was up in the little alcove singing. And my favorite thing, and this totally has nothing to do with anything other than it's a fun Ariel story, when she's singing, and she goes, "What's it called again?" And this little girl goes, "Feet."
Oh.
And you just saw Ariel lose it, and just like,
oh, I love that. Oh,
that's adorable.
That's adorable. Very adorable.
Okay, Jeremiah. So one of the complaints, one of the things that a lot of people have noticed since the parks reopened is they're empty. Universal, extremely empty. And then all that changed this past weekend. You want to talk about that just a tiny bit?
There is no just a little tiny bit about this past weekend. It's funny, and Doobie brought this up today when I was doing my walk and talk at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Even though Labor Day was yesterday, we still have some of the residuals left over. We were seeing, exactly, 45 minutes, which isn't a lot at times, but that was consistent throughout the day. Where last week at this time, we saw that you could stay on Flight of Passage without getting off.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Magic Kingdom on Saturday was pretty busy. We were seeing the line for Peter Pan heading down towards Harbor House, and for Haunted Mansion was using the lower level of the old keel boats. But Universal actually closed at capacity, I believe, every day. I don't know for certain of yesterday, but I know Saturday and Sunday they were not letting guests come in because they had reached capacity. And I was hearing that Transformers was having like 120-minute wait.
Oh, those people are in for
but it's reduced capacity, right?
Yes.
And unlike Disneyland, Universal does not have you reserve the day ahead of time. You can just go and buy tickets.
Correct. I was hearing a lot of problems were coming out at. That's breaking news right there. Sorry. Derek Huff is joining Dancing with the Stars as a judge this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Sorry, absolutely no park talk at all there.
Who? Eric
I was
Huff?
hearing
Derek.
Derek.
He was one of the professional dancers. He and his sister were the duo who hosted the Disney parks.
Oh, I recognize him.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, he's a judge now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we looking forward to seeing Carol Baskin do some dancing?
No,
I'm not going to watch it.
No, move on. I'm not even talking about it. Hey, regarding the parks, with them approaching closer to capacity, did you feel like you had to take more effort to social distance, or did you still feel like you were able to social distance easily, even though the parks were increased in attendance?
Walking through Magic Kingdom on Saturday, which was probably the busiest I've seen, it was still, not a summer day where we would be bumping into people left and right. The biggest social distancing challenges I was seeing were queues that weren't created. Like for Space Mountain, they had created extra queue with just masking tape going back towards the Tomorrowland Speedway because they needed it. And it was 6 feet. Everything was great. But when you get to that many people don't. And I was seeing this today at Disney's Hollywood Studios. People weren't paying attention as far as the social distancing goes. They were almost in the old mindset of, we just keep walking.
Right.
And that's one of the things that, go on.
No, my sister was sharing with me kind of a funny anecdote I hadn't thought about, but she was sharing it. She took my parents to Animal Kingdom, and my dad was noticing that the marker was like much further than 6 feet and behind the family in front of him. And he was, he turned to her and he was like, this is well more than 6 feet. And then she said, yeah, but look to your left and to your right. Sometimes they have to stagger it in such a way and so if you're not truly paying attention to the markings, if you're only paying attention to the distance, kind of in front of you and behind you, you may not even exactly realize all the dynamics that are in play regarding keeping you 6 feet away from people.
Oh yeah, and that's been one of the things. Some of the attractions do have, especially Universal, where they didn't put up all the plexiglass that Disney did. There are some where you'll have an entire row of the 6 feet markers, and then the next switchback will have no markers at all. So you bypass that to go to the next one. People. It's much like driving in LA with stop and go traffic. Mm-hmm. Unless you're paying attention to the car in front of you and where they're stopping, you just keep walking. And I, especially early on, and I still get it every now and then, people will just start walking and they're like, oh, there's no marker, so I'll just stop wherever. And then they'll stop right next to you and not pay attention to, oh, I am inches away from the people next to me, not 6 feet from the person in front of me.
Yeah.
So we have a question. When they're figuring out how long a line is, they're not just saying, oh, it's this far, that's this number of minutes. They're taking into account the social distancing. And then on the flip side, they're taking into account the fact that there's no fast pass. So it is relatively accurate. And do they still use flick cards these days?
No.
Okay, so the red tags are not being used.
Yeah, they actually stopped using flick cards prior to this. They kind of gone back to the old, hey, we're going to eyeball it. But I think at Disneyland, especially when it finally does reopen, Mike will have that challenge of, oh, that's a 50-minute wait. And then 10 minutes later, he's on the vehicle. Because when the parks opened here, and this was SeaWorld, Legoland, everything, they don't know what the capacity is. They don't know, okay, so our line is going back this far. In normal days, that would be an hour and a half wait. So they kind of go, well, then we'll say it's 50 minutes. And it could be 15 minutes because there is no fast pass, which is, I know people still love fast pass, but I do miss the old days of it's an hour wait. And it's usually literally an hour wait because they aren't doing fast pass every 5 seconds.
And they definitely don't want to under guess what your wait time is. So we for a while we were seeing wait times were posted a bit more elevated than actual wait experience, but it seems like they've been getting those more in line with reality. But I suspect, and I don't know this, but I suspect when we see this bump in attendance again, I wonder if we'll see kind of again where the guesstimates are maybe a bit more inflated. So I'll be interested to see how their accuracy bears out as they kind of adjust to this holiday traffic. And I'm interested to see how long this holiday traffic lasts too, by the way. So, because this is just one day out from the holiday. So I'll be interested to see what kind of numbers we start seeing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then again next week.
I don't miss FastPass, but I do love the virtual queues and having to do that to go on rides. That makes me so happy. I'm a big fan of that. I think our whole staff is. So, Mike, it's your turn, and since we've just ignored the syllabus, where do you want to start?
Oh, well, let's start at Downtown Disney to transition.
Go for it.
So last week I attended now I'm blanking on the name again. Chanting Extra, which was a shopping opportunity in the former ESPN zone at Downtown Disney District, and it was just basically a way for them to sell a couple items that would have been like in-park exclusives since the parks are not open. And one of them was this Sleeping Beauty castle. It's like a snow globe sipper.
Is it a backpack?
Oh, I actually have it.
It's only because I want. Have you seen those kitty cat backpacks that people then put the EL wire so that they can put their R2 units in it?
Oh, look at this battle!
I have not.
Battle of the battle of the sippers.
This one wins.
Oh wait,
I like this a lot.
I'm gonna grab the most adjacent sipper in my life.
So this, you got Sleeping Beauty Castle in there, obviously, and then this artwork, which I think first appeared around the AMC theaters there, the former AMC theaters in that seating area. All the different characters from the parks.
I love that design.
It was just pretty nice. And then they also were selling.
Wait, bring your sipper back up.
Oh, hang on, I was like, oh, I have enough time to dust it.
Got my Starbucks sipper here. Oh, that's a good one.
There's the sipper that's close, the most adjacent.
That's my soul. That's a good one. All right. Sorry, Mike.
That's back okay. And then they also had an assortment of 65th anniversary Disneyland pins. They're $17.99 each. So I only got one of them, but the one I chose was Donald Duck with the Disneyland Railroad.
What's cool. The edition size on those, Mike?
Oh, that's a good question.
Take the pin off. It'll be on the back of the actual pin.
Okay.
Take the pin off. Isn't that like breaking the Oh no! It's not a collectible anymore.
Limited edition of 2000.
Oh, those will be gone by the time I get there.
You can see the small motion available with the train by looking at the back there.
Oh yeah, so the train does slightly move back and forth.
So cute. And Donald looks like he does in that short toy train.
Does the drink go all over the castle?
Is there a cylinder?
Does it turn into a brown castle?
The drink just goes right on the castle.
Oh wow.
It's not separated at all from.
So if you wanted it to look like reality today, you just pour some Tang in there.
Really?
Yeah, you can replicate whatever the weather happens to be.
Why would they do that?
It's an interesting choice, huh?
Yeah, that's odd. I'll never put it.
That would be really hard to clean. Now that you mention it, that would be very, very hard to keep clean.
Yeah, I remember my wife got the rose
the moss
one.
growing up the sides of the castle.
Didn't they have the Beauty and the Beast rose sipper a couple years ago when the live action movie came out? That's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah, but, that was a big deal for a while, right? It had really long that was like, for me, I think of that as being the beginning of the plastic beverage item rush. It was like people queued for that, and then shortly after that, I think is when we started to have like the alien popcorn bucket, and like it's like that shift in consumer consumption. I think I trace it back to the rose.
I remember we got that rose sipper the first day it came out because I had to take pictures of it and stuff for work, and then my wife kept it, and then her mom wanted one, and we were going to go and buy one for her mom the next time we were at the park. And by then the word had spread and the line was forever, like you said, and then it was sold out for a long time, and then they brought it back. But yeah, it's hard to predict which one of these things is going to, yeah, exactly. They'd probably be better as a snow globe, but you'd have to plug up this hole where the straw goes in.
2 hour wait for this morning. I've heard.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I waited 25 minutes, and that's because they are also doing food at Sleepy Hollow, so they had to do everything. But apparently this morning there was a 2 hour wait, which somebody's waiting 2 hours now.
Did you have to wake up at 3 a.m. to get it, Jeremiah?
No. Hey, those sold out.
Not at 3 a.m.
Not for 3 days later either.
Just a quick look. These are the other pins that were available. Not the best shot of them.
Yeah. So all these pins represent an attraction that was open on opening day of Disneyland. It's tough to tell on the screen. There's a Jungle Cruise one and Autopia.
Jungle Cruise, Tea Party, 5, 6, 7. Steamboat, Peter Pan, Storybook Land, Dumbo.
I think they're probably attractions that were open on opening day and are still open today.
Safety Junior, Snow White. Yeah, there's no Clock of the World here. Mr. Toad, Main Street Cinema, Carousel, and Disneyland Railroad.
Very nice.
And then this morning, they just announced another one of these unique shopping opportunities for the same location. And I saw it. Well, actually, my wife alerted me. She's listening in the other room, so I have to give her credit. But you can go and next week. I have an appointment on Monday afternoon to go and shop for these Halloween items. Jeremiah, you have a question?
Can you get me that bat pen?
Sure.
Oh, I know.
So the bat is from the Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
And then you got the Pop Vinyl Funko Haunted Mansion organist, which is pretty cool.
That's been out that actually sold out over here within 2 days and hasn't reemerged. So
oh yeah, Jeremiah did an unboxing, right?
Yes.
Unboxing.
Where it didn't even come out of the box.
You put it in a bag and took it out.
Here it is.
That organ, by the way, is the same one used in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I don't know if you guys know.
Wow, I didn't know they had so many.
And so small.
They use special trick photography.
Now you know. What else, Mike?
Are we done with Disney? We could go to SeaWorld.
Well, let's talk about this real quick. Since,
okay.
Mr. Pot Rock announced that
Pop Rocks
2023 would be when we'll see Mickey's Runaway Railway. But I love this construction. Can you imagine having this in your office? This is your view. I mean, the construction might get a little annoying if they're loud, but the Matterhorn's over there. This is pretty cool. I got to interview Cynthia Harris in her office once, and it's a nice place to be.
Nice. I haven't been on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway yet, so I don't know whether to be excited for this or not, but it looks like it'll be pretty cool.
So it's been delayed a year. It was originally going to be 2022. I shouldn't say a year. It's been delayed from 2022 to 2023. There haven't been anything more specific than those years. And then one other quick thing. I think you just sent me this, Mike. Maybe it was Rebecca, about this is from the Orange County Register, reporting that the Marvel Superhero Stunt Show now has another casting call. This time they've already done Captain America and Spider-Man. No, Captain America and Black Panther. And now they're doing one for a stunt performer to be Black Widow. So that's pretty exciting for a stunt show to be revealed.
And those are all characters that we've seen in the park before, but not in the capacity that I think that they're planning for. Although there was that brief SHIELD stunt show thing that was in the Hollywoodland area. What was that? That was for Summer of Superheroes a few years ago.
Okay. Very cool. It'll be fun to see them doing high energy performances as opposed to just meeting and greeting you. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, whatever that is.
I wonder where it's going to take place, because obviously we know the Stuntronic Spider-Man thing is going to flip over you somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be pretty. I wonder if it'll be like taking place all around you on the rooftops and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that would be pretty
the article says. I'm sorry. The article says they'll battle a supervillain in a stunt show next to a Quinjet docked on the rooftop. So,
Jeremiah,
up high.
did you experience when they were doing those Indiana Jones inland stunts?
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit? Because Doobie and I didn't get to experience it, and I'm wondering if it's going to reflect kind of that feel.
Well, that was also so kind of crossing all the streams. Universal, when they first had the Marvel, and they had the Marvel Mania restaurant on the lower level where ET was, and now Jurassic Park and all that, they had the Marvel superheroes doing the fights all over the rooftops, and they even had the slide for death and everything, until one day they all just disappeared, and we found out a few days later that Disney had acquired the Marvel characters. But the small shows that they did in Adventureland were mostly like Indy running around and chasing villains, and it was kind of similar to the stuff they used to do in Frontierland on the Golden Horseshoe with the shooting, but there was more of the stunts close up with the fights.
So it's even more limited than what I was thinking it was. I was thinking it was more like those Wild West stunt shows, but kind of in varying places around you as opposed to a specific theater.
Yeah, it ran around. I mean, I think we're looking more at the short-lived Captain Jack that they did on the front of the island for like 3 weeks before they canceled it, where it'll be on the theater above you or on the Quinjet that's, that big.
Gotcha. That makes sense. It'll be fun to see what it actually is, but until then we get to speculate.
Now you can go on to the most exciting thing you did last week.
Yeah, so I went down to SeaWorld San Diego for the first time in like 7-8 months, I think, for SeaWorld Zoo Days Barbecue and Brews, Bayside Barbecue and Brews. And this is kind of like an outdoor food and beverage event, although they did have some of the shows open and some of the indoor aquarium exhibits were open, like the sharks and the penguins and the turtles and stuff. And we did a nice live stream from there, but it was just cool to be able to go back down there, walk around the park. And there's some photos of the entrance.
I haven't seen the new entrance.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And here's some of the social distancing signage and the safety regulations they've got going. Did
they have a welcome back shirt?
There's a picture in here in the galleries. There's some of the food and beverage. I really like this area that now I forget what it's called, but the Bayside area there where you can sit if you go back up. Look out on the bay. There's that welcome.
Nice area.
Yeah.
It's over near where the Skyway operates, right, Mike?
Waterfront Bar, it's called. Yeah, it's by the Sky Ride bucket.
Oh, that in the background of the picture with the sign, that's been there for a while. So just to the right of that is where the penguin encounter was. Mm-hmm. It was kind of that building has been there for probably.
Yeah, this is up near where the Sparklets Water Show used to be.
Yeah.
that's what we all start talking about.
There's the welcome back shirt, which is a unique design for the California.
I may need to get that so I can have a California and Florida welcome back.
And then there's more social distancing shirts, and then they've got their own face masks with all the aquatic animals for sale.
Nice.
Did they have the sloth one?
The sloth? Yeah, there was a sloth one, which was confusing to me.
Yeah, because it's the stuff from out here that they sell at Busch Gardens and at SeaWorld.
Well, that makes sense now. Then I took video of a couple of the shows, the Sea Lions live show and the Orca Encounter show. I'll put those up on our YouTube.
Lovely thumbnails, Mike. Really
Oh,
are.
thanks. See, when I take my time, I do some good work. And this is just video from our Twitter of the cool underwater tunnel you go through in the shark encounter exhibit on the moving platform. Actually, that was great because when we went through there, they didn't send anybody through immediately after us. So we got to hang out in there for a good 5 minutes probably on that walkway. And we just kept walking back to the beginning of it so we could take more photos and stuff. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite parts of all of SeaWorld is getting to ride on that.
And then the glass started cracking and the big
well, you always you got to yell it's coming through the glass while you're in there.
Every time I'm going to make that joke. This is cool. I'm so sad that the live stream wasn't working down here. This is where we ended it because we knew it was going to die here, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's too far underground and underwater, but it is a pretty cool exhibit.
Thick acrylic.
And then there's the same thing with the penguins. You go on a moving walkway past the whole exhibit.
But at least this one you only see, you don't have to smell.
Right.
I don't only see, Your Highness. But...
This is one of the things I miss most when I visit SeaWorld Orlando. Is I miss the way that SeaWorld San Diego presents their penguins, because I find it so much more I feel like you really can get a feel for the penguins because you have a much longer route to see them, and it's pleasant because in Orlando,
it's a horrible ride.
Well, in Orlando you have this thrill ride that dumps you into a zone that's very similar to me in footprint to a gift shop as far as its size, and that's where the penguins are. And yeah, you can hear them more, you can smell them more, you can be a part of their exhibit in that way, but it's freezing cold, so it's really uncomfortable. They don't smell particularly great, so you tend to just want to get out of there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, are they charging for entrance into SeaWorld right now for all of that?
So it works like Knott's Taste of Knott's event, where you're basically like buying the tasting card, and that includes admission, and you get 6 items off of this menu. But I wonder
how much it is.
So it's an event.
I don't. It was purchased for me by our boss. So,
Because I mean, you get some real entertainment in there with 3 shows and the penguins and everything. So if they're pricing that such that it's more or less the price of the food, that's an incredible value. And I can see my wife looking down, so I hope she's looking at trying to find it.
The only thing you don't get is the rides. None of the roller coasters are open, or the swings ride. The kiddie rides are not open. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
The sub ride that goes above your head isn't open now.
No, I'm one of the lucky few who went on that ride, though. I have to say,
the Rocket Rods of SeaWorld.
It's a $75 ticket for adults and $65 for kids, and that does not include parking. And they give you a link on their app for
so it's
parking. But
quite a bit pricier than the Knott's event, I guess.
But it includes a much broader array of entertainment in addition to the food.
Right.
Not as much more of a setting and food. This is actually exhibits, shows, food.
How does and that does include the food though? So even if you compare that to one day at SeaWorld,
it's enjoy 1 day visit with 6 food or beverage items.
Yeah, if you price it right, just like the food and wine and the gift cards, if you price it right, you could almost make more than you can eat more than you paid. But I know parking down there, I believe, is $25 to $30 now. So
typically,
just swim across the bay, park on the other side, swim across the bay. And
another thing that wasn't open was the Wild Arctic exhibit was closed, which bums me out because I love hanging out in there. The theming of that particular exhibit is super neat.
Jeremiah,
yes, sir.
Jeremiah, what is your favorite SeaWorld animal? Not a trick question.
While Jeremiah thinks on that very challenging question, I will share that past members and fun card holders to SeaWorld can get free admission to Zoo Days with the purchase of the 6 punch, and they charge $30 for the 6 punch, and that's what they offer right now to their pass and fun card people. But you have to reserve your spot. So you would buy this fun card hole punch thing for 30, it would give you 6 items, and that's how you access it if you are a current pass holder. Or Fun Card, which is like a single year thing.
So they are valuing the experience aside from the food at $30, $40. I forgot already. Jeremiah.
I really like the sharks. The shark encounter.
Cool.
When it was my first trip out to Florida when I was a little kid, the shark encounter out here had opened, and it's very different. The shark encounter here in Florida is a very long moving walkway, and I can remember when they opened it in SeaWorld in California, and we waited like 2.5 hours, and there it's like 6 feet of moving walkway. I was a little annoyed at that.
Yes.
So jumping back over to Florida, a couple more quick items. Jeremiah, you want to talk about what's going on in Tomorrowland?
Sure.
Your article.
Tomorrowland has been kind of, I don't want to say going retro, but they have been reverting back to the early 70s stark white for Tomorrowland. And one of the things that they've been doing is removing the Tomorrowland 94, the metallics and those. And you can see here the supports for the People Mover. They used to have metallic coverings, and then they started removing them, and it was just a frame. And then they remolded them to look more natural, I want to say, I guess. So it fits there. And as the entrance to the land, there's a great shadow of me taking a picture of, and this was middle of the day last week. So again, let's talk about the difference. And
yeah,
you can see on the left and right, the People Mover supports look very natural white and a nice curve. And they did have scaffolding up since they reopened, and they just took that down. But as you walk further into the land, you start to see, as some of the upper pictures where it's still the wireframe or the chicken wire that they're putting the paint on. That's the entrance that they just had the scaffolding, and that's what the under construction still looks like.
Okay.
And we've not gotten word of what the final outcome is going to be, but we're guessing that it will be much more like the 1971 original Tomorrowland without the towers doing the water, but it'll be the white and blues.
Cool. And then this place, what's going on there?
Well, they're building a rat ride.
Okay. Lots of updated construction pictures, Smart.
Ratatouille, the Remy's Adventure, it has been since the park reopened. That has been a heavy construction site because we don't have an official opening date, but we think if the world had continued as it was, we would have been experiencing that as the summer attraction this year. So hopefully the way that they're progressing, and they're still working day by day, like every time I go by there's more work happening. I don't know if we'll see it as the holidays approach, if we could possibly see it for the Christmas time, because Epcot has definitely been the slowest of the 4 parks just because of the space and everything. So if they are looking at doing something like Universal Florida opened up the Born Stuntacular, and it brought people in. If they could do that with the Ratatouille attraction, that's a possibility. And it's a great attraction too. It's definitely a highlight of Disney Studios Paris.
Do you agree, Mike? It's a great attraction?
Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Didn't love it. Yeah. There seems to be a bit of debate among Disney dweebs about where to rank it.
I enjoyed it mostly because it has a single rider line, and it's a cute attraction. They could definitely do more with it, but it's a solid D attraction. I wouldn't give it the E.
I'm interested to see. Yeah, we were mocking Doobie earlier about that.
How do you know you're not in the wrong year, Amy? Prove it.
Hey, I guess all that's left regarding what we had on our list of items to discuss is that popcorn bucket that's made its way now to even Disney Springs. And I'm curious, Jeremiah.
Is that Guinevere?
Yeah, but I'm curious, have they done this before where these fantasy popcorn buckets end up at Disney Springs as well? I couldn't recall if that's something that happens at times or not, or if these are more typically park exclusive.
No, they, I mean, going back to the Casey Jr. one, that was kind of the really big one in the past few years, that made its way to the Big Bad Wolf Sausage Company.
Okay. And I think that's where this one is too. I think you can find the Guinevere popcorn bucket that's currently at Disney Springs. I mean, at Disney Hollywood Studios. It's made its way to, I believe it's also the Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah, it's usually Big Bad Wolf, and then next to the Starbucks on the west side.
Okay.
They'll have it, but I haven't gone to Disney Springs. That'll be later this week.
Very cool.
But I do love that popcorn bucket, and the headlights light up on it. And I learned today, as I was in Disney's Hollywood Studios, that it is a very solid popcorn bucket because a girl had it on and it snaps. And as she started walking, we just heard it unsnap and drop probably 4 feet and was fine.
Oh, very good.
So there's 2 more things I want to do today. One, look at this item. It's come out since we've last done a show. I just need to know, especially from Mike, but for everyone, just yes or no. Is this attractive or not? But first of all, let's all admire the hand model. I think we have some George Costanza quality hand modeling there. So what do we think of Baby Yoda headman? Jeremiah?
To me, it looks like a baby, like teething toy or a donut is how I call it. It's the Baby Yoda donut head.
Star Wars Mike?
It's odd because I guess they had to figure out a way to differentiate this from the regular Yoda ears, so they put the eye ear, right? Because the regular Yoda ears just has the ears. So it's odd that there's the eyes, and it doesn't like turn you into Baby Yoda. It just looks like Baby Yoda's eating your head.
Yeah, you're the frog.
Yeah, but I guess in that way it's kind of fun.
Rebecca?
Yeah, well, it's cute. When I saw it, I thought if I put it on my head, it would make it look like Baby Yoda was vomiting my face. So
Yeah.
it was kind of how it struck me as far as the visual that would be crafted if I put it on my head. So, but I like Mike had a much more lovely description that we would then become the frog that he is consuming. So
I think Jeremiah said that. But.
Oh, was it Jeremiah? Okay, well, that was far more pleasant than I went the opposite direction.
What goes in must come out.
I will
but it's
say
cute.
that
I'm sure people will like it, right? It'll be cute.
Well, we posted on Instagram and Twitter and everything, and it got a big like, oh, I need that response. Today at Disney's Hollywood Studios, end of the day, walking through, I could find those. So I think oh my God, those are amazing turned into I mean, yes, it's not Disney Springs where everybody can go, but they aren't selling out. So who knows?
And then finally, the strangest story I saw while looking for items. Four Seasons Resort Orlando to offer supervised schoolwork session for children of resort guests. So while you're staying at Walt Disney World, you can go out and have fun at the parks. Your child can do their remote schoolwork in a supervised setting with lunch and everything. You half day or full day. If you want your child to join you in the afternoon, they can. Just put them to work in the morning. So
I think you're thinking of this wrong.
There is no reason for a vacation to get in the way of your child's school day. How am I thinking of this wrong?
When I look at this, I think of the fact that a lot more people are working from home, and a lot more children are doing school from home. Okay. And I am thinking of this as being, well, hey, let us go, and while I work from home in the hotel. You can do your schoolwork at the hotel, and then when we're both done with those requirements of life, we can go have some fun.
So
I'm on Doobie's side with this.
You think mom and dad are diligently getting their work done up in the hotel room, their work done up in the hotel room, while the kid is while the kid is down there doing their schoolwork, or as I think they're out enjoying the parks without having to deal with little Jimmy. Okay. The fact is,
I'm not saying that won't
happen.
I'm not saying that won't happen. I'm just saying that from a marketing standpoint, if I was a hotelier, I would be thinking right now, hey, there's a lot of Americans who are working from home, and there are a lot of kids who are doing school from home. And if I can find a way to accommodate that and yet also give them the freedom to have a vacation, they'll come stay at my hotel.
You actually make a really good point with that. No, I'm serious. You do. It would be an even better point if the parks were open past the end of workday, which they're not right now. But
no, I know. I realize that's the flaw. That's the fly in the ointment.
but
they close.
What I do like about it is, in times like this, companies have to try to figure out a way to somehow make it happen. And they're trying something new, and you never know. Maybe it'll work. It is for hotel guests only, so it's not like you can just go to work if you live in Orlando and drop your kids off for this. That is not an option. But
I also know there are people who are really struggling with this dynamic, and that would be a way of your kids not falling behind, but yet you also kind of getting a mental respite too, because this is not a typical dynamic for a lot of families to be kind of doing this work and teach balance.
So that's all. Amy says she wishes her company would send her Walt Disney World so she can work remotely at a Disney hotel. So why don't we close with this? We have a question asking if that Madame Leota lights up. I know we showed it earlier, but why don't
I have something?
That? Oh, go, Mike.
Wait, I have something. So I want to promote something real quick and also ask you a question, because tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, I'm going to be doing a live stream of the Sims 4 Journey to Batuu expansion pack, which, I can't go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge right now because Disneyland is closed, but we can go there virtually thanks to our friends at Electronic Arts, the video game company. But my question is, do you guys think I should play it this evening and see what it's all about, so I'm like more prepared for the stream tomorrow, or should I go in like totally blind at 9 a.m.?
Rebecca gets to break the tie.
Have you,
Mike? Remember, you work for a laughing place, so you're not supposed to be prepared for this stuff.
Here's what you should do, Mike. What is it, like a digital code or something to actually get the game?
I've already bought it, so I have it.
You should load it up and show the screen, and then that's it. So you don't want to destroy it by actually going inside. Right, Jeremiah?
He's mocking Jeremiah. No, Mike, have you done Sims games before?
Jeremiah.
So I downloaded the base game.
I itch with this finger.
Go ahead, Mike. Someone's getting suspended.
The answer is that I've played The Sims for like 2 hours ever, and both of those hours were last week when I was getting ready to have this new update, and I don't get it.
That would be the only thing that I would suggest, is to be familiar with Sims. But beyond that, sure, go ahead and wait and explore it with people.
Are we getting a Twitch account to start doing this too?
Not yet.
No, we're just doing it on YouTube.
But Twitch can't be far behind. I trust you, Mike. You're Star Wars, Mike. You don't do stuff wrong. So whatever you think is best.
Whatever works best for you, though. You're the host. It's your gig.
Okay. Well, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I think it would be more entertaining, Mike, to just turn it on and then go and have the interactive of like people saying, "Hey, go do this, go do that."
That's what Jeremiah would do. Hey, and he comes early to showtime. How about you, Doobie? What would you do if you were?
I would want to. I'm terrible at video games, so I would need to be familiar with this game before I just go.
Yeah, I think I would probably explore it first before I did it in front of people.
That's the thing that I'm a little worried about.
I would not want to seem totally new.
Yeah, I have a fear that I'm not going to know what I'm doing at all, and people are going to ask me to do something, and I'll be like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So maybe I will. There you go. There's my tweet about it.
I know we're looking forward to it. It's on the calendar here. We're eager to watch Mike's T explore.
There's the virtual map of Batuu. It's divided into 3 sections. There's the first order area, the marketplace, and the shipyard area or whatever, and then the resistance base. Yeah,
very cool.
So, Mike, is 9 a.m. when you get your virtual boarding time, or is that like you already have it and then that's when you can go?
That would be the best way to really replicate the experience of going to Galaxy's Edge if you had to get a boarding pass. Come back later in the day.
Amy will undoubtedly be watching it, so you might as well do what she asked you to.
Okay.
I feel like that's the tag for Laughing Plates.
Flying by the seat of your pants?
Following the example of Aladdin, flying by the seat of our pants.
So that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time for Mike watching. I got to watch that. That's going to be entertaining.
I'm so excited.
We won't be able to see your face while you're playing because I can just feel the frustration already. Let's see. What's coming on later today, though? In just a couple hours, 7:30 p.m. Doobie and Gideon are going to be doing Disney Trivia Live. Our contests tonight are DCA Opening Day and Disneyland by the Numbers. Both of them look pretty fun to me. So can't wait. Let's see. What is Tony? And sit idly on your screen for Tony.
Yeah. You can do other things in the park while you're waiting.
That would be funny if they
you can walk around with a diamond on your head for hours. You can go on other rides.
Troublemaker. And then tomorrow at 9 o'clock, as you said, you'll be doing that. And then tomorrow at, oh man, why won't this thing? Never mind. 1 p.m. we'll be doing Marvel Time. Mac will be doing that all by himself tomorrow for the first time. That'll be interesting. And then tomorrow at 7:30, we'll be debuting our weekly news video that Mike works on. Thursday at 9 a.m., we've got Park Walk and Talk with Jeremiah coming from Disney's Animal Kingdom. We'll see what the crowds are like then. And then at 1 p.m., Star Wars Headlines with Mike and his special guest host, if she's still doing it.
Yeah.
Rebecca will be guest hosting that with Mike.
I got the call.
So
I'm no longer furloughed.
That one.
Yeah, exactly. No longer furloughed.
Let's see. Tony has much to say. His social and hunger levels would plummet. Then he'd throw a tantrum and roll on the ground crying. This is all in a similar. So the only thing keeping you in your current position, Jeremiah, is the fact that Tony is your backup. He's your job security.
Tony seems to know a lot more about The Sims than I do, though.
Tony, can you be on standby tomorrow? 9 a.m. Pacific?
You'll set up a coaching session with Tony tonight.
That's actually a good idea. All right,
yeah, but then they'll start arguing and.
Let's bring out that light up, Madame Leota. Show it off while we all wave goodbye and mercifully end this thing. Where's Hercules?
Look how much money we've given the